I have to clarify, her book is not Now Large Family Logistics. So I will read that in her bio in a minute, what it is now. So Kim Brenneman is an Iowa farm wife, homeschooling mom of 9, mother-in-law to 3, and grandmother to 5. She's a nurse midwife and writer of all things to do with home, family, and health. What began as a book for her daughters, Home Management, Plain and Simple, that's the name now, is for all Christian moms who seek to live a better life at home. She continues to write and speak about laundry, kitchen management, home office skills, menu planning, grocery shopping, cooking, house cleaning, gardening, and children. Visit her online home and learn how to make your best days better at homeplainandsimple.com, which I will put that on the Facebook group so that it's easy to find. So I will go ahead and pray, and then I will turn it over to Kim. Lord, thank you so much for your love for us, and thank you for just the help that you give us in raising our children and in homeschooling and just everything that comes with being homemakers and Christian moms. I pray that today we would fellowship well and that we would be able to encourage and strengthen one another. I pray for Kim as she speaks that you would just give her words of wisdom and that she would not be nervous and that she would just, glorify you in all that she says. Bless us today in Jesus' name. Amen. So if you want to, we could even just leave this here. Clip that.
Just don't move too far away. Okay, everybody can hear me? Do I even need this? For the recording, we do? Yep. Okay, so I'd rather this be time stewardship. I've been thinking about this. This presentation should be stewardship, not management. Yeah, we manage, but also God gives us time and we're the stewards of it. So how do we use our time? So that's kind of why I'm thinking maybe we should change the title of this presentation. Okay, I have 51 slides here, and Olivia said 45 minutes. So I'm going to skip some things, okay? And get to the nitty-gritty. And if you have any questions, okay, so I'm old, so I have to do a lot of this. If I'm running this and talk. If you have any questions, let me know. So, just raise your hand and we'll stop, okay? The handouts, each of those questions is enough to, just one of them could be a whole topic for a whole day or week or month, So there's a lot there. Don't feel like, don't be overwhelmed, is what I'm saying. Take it home and just think through each of them as you, get to it. Okay, I'm going to skip. Okay, there we go. I thought, what's the deal here? This is like a dynamic and animated presentation. Okay, so 30 plus years. My husband and I have been married 32. My oldest turns 32 in June. And I always stayed at home, but we also had a farm, cattle, a business, multiple, because we're kind of entrepreneurial people, so we would do things. And all our children were homeschooled the whole way. I still have 2 at home. One is 15 and one is 17. A 19-year-old came home last night from college, and a 23-year-old at home still, who recently got a full-time job that pays better. So maybe she will. Maybe she'll move out someday, which is fine. Whatever. Online, I have a course, a blueprint course. So it's all this information that we go through cyclically. Once you're a member of the course, you can just stay with us forever and ever. Amen. What the moms do is get together once a week in a Zoom call where we talk about all this kind of stuff, focusing on one module of the course, which is based on the book, Home Management, Plain and Simple. So I wanted to let you know about that, if you wanted to ever do that, or you guys can do it with the book too yourselves, just cycle through it. That's what we do online. Okay, so here I am way back in the day writing one-handed, nursing a toddler. This was let's see, that's Bronwyn. She's the one that just came home from college last night. So this is maybe 2005, 2004. Yeah, probably 2004 or 5, somewhere in there. Okay, so this is my reality too, and we're missing a kid here in this picture. That was, I think our oldest was obviously getting muscles, you can see by the way he's posing there. He's about 14. And yes, baby was about a year there. The next one came, they're 18 months apart, the bottom two are. So anyway, I was outnumbered. A lot of what I did was simply surviving, just surviving. There I am, 22 years old with 202. That was hard. But I would say other moms might confirm this. 3 was the hardest for me because I had a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a baby. And then after that, everything got easier because as they get older, they get more helpful. All right, so this is huge. You can learn all the skills you want about taking care of a house and home and your time and stuff, but you're going to be pretty miserable if you're not watching your mindset, your attitude. So you got to work on yourself first. But I think you're probably here today for the tips. So I'm going to skip through some of this pretty fast. Make goals. Be aware of mom guilt. And don't should on yourself because that kills your motivation. If you're doing, I should do this and I should do that, it just gets overwhelming. So you need to manage it all so you're not overwhelmed and set some realistic goals for making changes and improvement. And the questions on that sheet should be helpful for helping you think through how can I make this part of my life better, because every little inch counts. Baby steps count. All the little things add up. So go back to your priorities and figure out what is the most important thing to do, because that to-do list can be never, never ending. Always, always, always. So separate the urgent from the important. Of course, the urgent is going to be changing a diaper and feeding people, and the important is dishes, floors, and toilets. So those things you really can't get around. You can't avoid it. They need done all the time. Place those in your day so that you can just keep moving and do the things you don't like first, because once you've done a bunch of stuff in the day, then it's real easy to say, oh, I'm tired, I've done all this stuff already. And that thing that you don't want to do just keeps getting pushed off forever. So do those things first and choose an energizing task after that horrible thing that you just did. And horrible thing is going to be, different for each one of us, because I prefer dishes to doing laundry. Another person just loves to do laundry and the dishes will pile up. So we're all different. You choose what your horrible thing is that you don't want to do. And then when you're done with that, rest a little bit and do something energizing that's going to give you some power through for the next thing. Talked about that. Wait, I'm going backwards now. Okay, so this is what we want to talk more about, strategizing and managing your day. Using those high energy points of your day, because we're all different. So you're going to know, do you wake up just full of energy, raring to go, and can just tackle a whole lot of things in an hour before the kids get up? Or do you have more energy later in the morning or after lunch and rest time? Then you get a surge of energy. We're all different. So you got to learn who you are and work with your personality and your ebb and flow of energy. And then managing your home. Who is where in your home at different points in time? I love the wild and free thing. That's great. I live on a farm. We had free-range kids. I'm not opposed to it, but there's also a place for work in the home and outside with your chores and whatever needs done. So it's in between time there, let it be wild and free, yeah. But also, there's work that needs done. So know who is where in your home and what the children are doing at certain times so that they're focused on getting things done, and plan all of those things into your day. Some of you who just have babies and not the big kids yet, just store this away back there. someday you'll pull it out and say, oh, don't do wild and free all the time. Okay, so your routine tasks are not the same as your running to-do list. A to-do list can go on forever. You know, it's helpful to get those things out of your head and onto paper, absolutely. But some of those things are tasks that need to happen every single day. We'll get to that. Yes, so planning the tasks. For example, in the morning, make the breakfast, unload the dishwasher, load the dishwasher, feed the dog, take out the trash, put supper in the slow cooker. Okay, so there's this routine that you do every morning. It's a system, and those systems can be bad or they can be good. Bad systems will be unproductive, inefficient. You'll lose your kids here and there. So stay focused with a planned system, a planned routine of first we do this, then we do that, and then the next thing, and then you can go have a break, and then at a certain time, or whenever you decide, we're going to come back and do homeschool. Because I assume everybody here is a homeschooler or is planning to homeschool. Okay. The running to-do list, that's separate. That is the call the vet, get a gift for a wedding on Saturday, schedule a dentist appointment. That's different than your to-do list of things that need done for your home, the daily things that are tasks that never end. They're just every day, daily, daily, daily. So, like I said earlier, small shifts, those baby steps, they add up and give you more hours. Long time ago, no, I shouldn't do rabbit trails. We got 45 minutes. Anyway, I'll just chase a different rabbit later, okay? That one. Focus on one task at a time. Focus is something that men, I think, are really good at. That is so not PC of me to say, is it? I saw it in my little boys, maybe you see it too, where you give them a task and they just zero in and can do it. And I kind of think it's a kid thing, you know, babies or whatever. We are hearing and paying attention to what's going on all around us all the time. So focusing on one thing is tricky. So my point is work on increasing your focus and getting some tunnel vision when you're doing some tasks. That helps with growing your time, getting more hours back in your day, minimizing distractions. Let's see. Yes, so the same idea helps with the kids. When they know that there are time blocks for certain activities, they feel safer and more secure and they're more apt to be helpful and to behave because they know what's expected. When they know what's expected, then they know what to do next or what everyone else is supposed to be doing next. You might have some bossy kids in your family who are making sure everybody else is staying on task and doing the next thing. And then there's the kids who are just trying to like escape. So take advantage of those kids. But having routines and systems helps everybody to know what's expected. These are all things that I learned the hard way. They came out of just surviving and adding tasks and asking moms and reading books and seeking out information. How do I do this and how do I manage that? That's where all this came from. I'm flashing back. Giving this presentation is making me really have some flashbacks to when all the children were home and little. It was probably that picture back there when they were all like stair-stepped up. Okay, so routines help us overcome procrastination. Routines and systems. When you have a list of things to do, and it tells you to do this and and it's something you created, so it's like your system. It's not someone else's system on you. You're creating a system of tasks, and you're doing them in a specific order for efficiency and productivity. It helps to overcome procrastination, simply because you're not putting something off forever and ever and ever and ever. You're doing the next thing. And that thing that you put off has a place in your day or your week or whatever it is, in your month. Because sometimes, like cleaning the car seat, that's something that can be put off forever. And then it just gets just gross and disgusting, right? If it's put in your calendar that, let's say, it depends on the age of the kid. Are you going to clean it every 3 months? Or are you going to clean it every month? How often are you out and they're eating and drinking in the car seat, making it disgusting? Has it been a year? Your life is different than mine or the next person. So you choose how often you want to clean your car seat, but put it on your calendar. So then it tells you when to do it, and you're like, not going out to put your baby in the car seat and, oh, this is so gross, I should do this, and you procrastinate and put it off forever. There's an example. Okay, and then make it a game for your friends, your children, who are your friends. Make it a game, have fun with it, and then race the clock. Write down, this is so important. We put off things because we think it's just a big thing. It's a project. It's going to take forever to do it. So write down how long it takes to clean the car seat. It just sounds awful. Write down, start to finish. And then include the interruptions, because you're going to get interrupted in there. So include that in there too. And then when you get to the done part and you put the car seat wherever you're keeping the car seat, how much time did it really take to do? So it helps for the next time when you know you have to clean the car seat. It's on the calendar, it says to do it. Oh, it takes 30 minutes. I just made that up, I have no idea. 30 minutes to clean the car seat, and then you can put it in your day where it's going to fit, rather than just put it off forever because you think it's a big, disgusting, horrible job. Okay, now, take breaks. I had to do this for myself. Some people maybe take too many breaks and not enough work. I was a person who needed to take breaks because I was always like, okay, what's next? What's next? If you don't take the breaks, then you get exhausted, and that's not good. You need to stop and rest and drink and eat and give some love to your body, okay? You and your kids, because you can push them too to do. I don't know, maybe I can say this because of the crowd where I drove on gravel here, so I'm going to assume that we have a rural crowd here, farm, chores, maybe some livestock. There's stuff to do all the time. So let your kids have a break too. Build breaks, build time into their day where they can go be wild and free. I'm going to skip multitasking. Okay, so I'm just going to say this one, and balancing your obligations. Saying yes to one thing means saying no to something else. Saying no protects your time. So think about your priorities when you're doing this, and if someone is asking you to do something, you know that if you're going to say yes to that, something else has to lose. And maybe that's a valuable thing that's, or maybe it's not, that you're pushing off, but it might be your kids, it might be your hobby, it might be your house, it might be time with your husband, it might be other family obligations, who knows what it is, but just keep that in mind, that you need to be real careful about your priorities and what you're saying yes to and what you're saying no to, as far as the activities and lifestyle choices that you're making. Delegate. Okay, so this is for those moms with the little children and no help. And maybe the middle-aged kids too, because right here, identify the strengths and weaknesses of those in your home. That kind of, that you see in the elementary kids in their age, in that age range, you start to really see some of them are really good at organizing. Some of them are really good at whipping through a task really fast and doing a good job of it. some of them are slow and methodical, but they're doing a good job. So, some see the big picture, some see the details. So when you're assigning your tasks to do in your house or your life, whatever, outside, choose the task to match the kid. Not that they should learn to do all the things, but if you're going to, if you're pressed for time, or if you know that this needs a level of detail or attention, use your time wisely by assigning appropriately. So, and some of this is just common sense, and I know my crowd here is full of common sense. Just don't be afraid to use it, okay? Routines are building blocks to satisfying days by allowing you to do more in less time, help you build free time and fun in your day, and helps you give better focus to activities, and add it up at lower stress levels. Okay, so we can really get stressed out about all the things that we need to do. Building those routines into blocks in your day help relieve that stress, because you know what to do. You don't have to think, what am I supposed to do? No, you look at your paper, your book, your home management book, which I'll talk about in a minute, and it tells you what to do. You don't have to think about it, you just do it. It just tells you. And so you can save all that thinking power for something more fun. So creative people think that they don't like routines, they don't want to live by routine, it sounds restrictive, they hate the word schedule, which is fine. I get it. I have 9 kids. There's some of them are more creative than others. But what a routine does, it allows you to get things done so that you can add in a time block for being creative. So it gives you more time for the creative parts in life. Okay, so now we're going to, how much time? I don't have a clock here. I don't have I'm good on time? There's my clock, I found it. What time do you want me to stop? Tell me that.
You're full of wisdom, so you just keep going, just whatever you need.
Okay. So now I'm going to slow down in this part of the presentation, okay? So morning and evening routines, I'm sure you probably read about them online, maybe you've tried to. Here's the thing, it's like I said earlier, you can have systems in your house that are either bad or good. Same with morning and evening routines, and I feel like this is a constant thing that we can always work on, is in making better. Being prepared makes you feel more calm. A good morning starts the evening before with a strong evening routine. Write down what you want to happen in the morning and what can be prepped ahead the night before, okay? So people whose kids go off to school get pretty good at this. We homeschoolers, I think, can do a lot better at it, so that we're not starting school late in the day and then the afternoon gets away, and then pretty soon, oh, we didn't get this done and that done or the other. We need to back up and have a really strong evening routine so that when the morning comes, we're ready and we're moving and we're starting in on the day, getting those tasks done and the homeschooling done early. What can be prepped ahead the night before? Plan the evening routine based on the morning routine, and plan for a rest time before you go to sleep. Okay, so back to the whole health thing. You need to have a time where you can calm down and rest. Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here who puts the kids to bed and then does all the housework? You need to not do that. That's not healthy. 1, your kids aren't learning to do the work. 2, you need to have time to rest and restore yourself. And you need to have a relationship with your husband. And a lot of times that's the only time where you get some alone, quiet time, where you can actually have conversations without all the chatter. So there's some strong words for you. Have a rest time and plan it and make, okay, so here, let me stop here. Let me see if it's on the next slide. Okay, so I do go into a little more detail. Here is an evening routine that includes both what you want to do for your house and your personal, okay? what I would like you to do in your home management book, because I'm going to really strongly encourage you to make one if you don't already, is have a 2-page spread. We're talking a 3-ring binder here, okay? A 2-page spread of your kitchen or your house, whatever you want to do, morning routine and evening routine, okay? So that routine tells you what you're going to do in your house every single morning and every single evening. And then for those of you who like to do all this stuff after the kids go to bed, when you get to the end of that, you stop. And then another 2-page spread in your home management book of your personal morning routine and evening routine. So that would be wake up, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, put on moisturizer. No, I should wash my face before I put on moisturizer. Okay, so wash my face, put on moisturizer. Am I going to put mascara on here? Not, or later? I don't know. Okay. Create your personal morning routine and for when you wake up until you go to the kitchen, okay? So I know some of you have babies and that's interrupting, all of that. So you have to include that in. So your personal routine on paper, you think this is going to take me 15 minutes. Okay, oops, I forgot I had a baby. So add another 15 minutes, okay? So 30 minutes for your personal morning routine. Then you go to the kitchen, and then you have your kitchen morning routine. Same thing for your evening routine. So evening routine for your house, evening routine that's personal when you go to bed. And that's when you put the Epsom salts and the lavender oil in your bathtub, and you have a nice relaxing bath with some lighted candles. And you read 10 pages in your book and create it however you want, but you create a personal evening routine that's restful and restorative and is going to make you a healthy, happy person when you go to bed, and then you're going to sleep really good, and then you're going to wake up and have a nice personal morning routine, and then you're going to go to the kitchen and have your kitchen morning routine, okay? So when you put your home management book together, 2-page spread for your kitchen or your house, whatever, however you want to do it, morning and evening, and you're going to have 2-page spread of my personal. And that personal, you probably are also going to make 2 copies, one in your home management book, one is going to be in your bedroom or your bathroom on the mirror, someplace so that you can go through it. You're not thinking, when am I supposed to put in my contacts? You just look, this, and build it off of what you're already doing, because you already have a system. Is it bad and not working very well? Is there too much stuff going on and you can't remember what am I supposed to be doing? And my classic is always cutting up an onion before putting in my contacts. Bad idea. Don't go to the kitchen and make supper and put it in the crock pot before you go to your bathroom first and do all your face, okay? Put it in order. That works for you. Okay, I just talked about all that. Mealtime routines, another pillar for the rest of the day. Okay, I'm going to assume that y'all are clean and safe. This is a goal for you with kids. Try to have it all cleaned up in 10 minutes or less. Race the clock. Assign tasks to the kids to clean up. And I'm telling you, a 4-year-old can wipe a table. A 4-year-old can wipe down the chairs. A 4-year-old can turn on the robot vacuum. Unload the dishwasher. My thing was always keeping the dishes down low so they could load and unload it low. And then someone else, a bigger kid, they knew what they could do. Just divide it up, plates and spoons, forks and plates and bowls, whatever. The small stuff that we use at the meals all the time goes in the low cupboards so they can load or unload it. I would always go to the kitchen first and pull out all the knives. Anything sharp. That was my job. Go and pull that out, and then the kids unload, and then the kids that knew where the higher stuff were. I had it divided up so everybody was doing tasks in the kitchen. Someone's washing the dishes. You're going to have to plan that in order to, depending on what the tasks are and how old your kids are and what they're capable of. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is back to assign a kitchen helper for each day of the week. Okay? How many of you have elementary age kids and older? Those kids can be really, really helpful as a kitchen helper. They can be chopping, cutting, mixing, washing the dishes while you're making food. What this does, it gives them an opportunity to have special time with you and teaches them kitchen skills and helps them to feel like they're a productive member of the family, and it eliminates fighting. I will do anything to eliminate the squabbling, okay? So one thing that we did was assign the kids a day of the week where they were the kitchen helper. Not just a kitchen helper, it was also their special day. They got to sit by mom when we were reading stories. My kids would fight about who got the mail, so we had to divide that up too. So on their special day, it was their job to go get the mail. You know, whatever weird random things that they like to fight about, they get to do that thing on their special day. Not any other day, but on their special day, they can do that fun task. I'm sure it's probably different in each family, but I've also heard that I'm not the only one whose kids fight about who goes to the mailbox. I don't know. I was always so puzzled by that one. Okay. Here's just a list of things. You have to make your own list of what you want done, and it depends on the age of your kids or how many kids you have. Do you need to divide chores between 5 kids or 2? You know, so it's going to be different. And then if you don't have kids old enough to be really truly helpful yet, then it's all on you. But if you have the list made of the tasks that need done, then you can peck away at it. And as the kids get older, you can start handing off, delegating those chores. Messy on the outside, messy on the inside. This is huge. When our house is a mess, or even just one room, let's say it's your bedroom that you never get cleaned and it becomes a dumping ground. If kids don't know what to do with something when they're cleaning and you say, go put it in this room, whatever your junk room is. You know, maybe it's an office, maybe it's a bedroom, maybe you have a storeroom that's just a big pile of mess. Those kind of, that messy part of the house, of your life, affects your brain and your stress levels. So managing those messy parts really helps to make you a happier person. And we all want a happy mom. Okay, afternoon quiet time. Please tell me you all have an afternoon quiet time. No? Excuse me. Okay, okay, y'all have babies that sleep, toddlers, preschoolers that need a nap, right? So choose a time of the day, afternoon. I always did first we eat, lunch, then we have meal times, and then you guys can play a little bit if you're done early, and then at, like say, 1 o'clock. Pretty sure it was 1 o'clock, we would have quiet time. I think sometimes I would try to do our read aloud time before quiet time, and then I would fall asleep during read aloud time. So then I had to switch it up, switch it all around, which you'll have to do. You know, things are going to look different in different houses, but a quiet time is good for everybody to get a break from each other, especially when there's a lot of kids in the house. So quiet time is not just for preschoolers and toddlers who need the nap. It is a time for everybody to do something quiet. Can be, you know, however your house works for them to get some alone time. It gives everybody some space. The introverts, of course, are going to just love this time and want to make it last all afternoon. But it's just good. It helps to diffuse a lot of situations. You know, if there's some rub between kids in the morning or at lunchtime or whatever, it gives them space so that they can reset. And it also gives you a reset in the day. So during nap time, you shouldn't be doing all the work that you've been saving up. That's when you can have a rest and a break. Read a book. You know, I'm not telling you to take a nap. I was not a very good napper during the day. I just couldn't. But it gives you time to reset, rest, and just become a happier mom. And we all want a happier mom. So after quiet time, then read aloud time, or you can have that in the morning, whatever. But read aloud time really gives kids love and attention, and in a cozy way. Please tell me you all do read aloud time at some point in your day. It's really good for their brains. And some narration back. Okay. We'll move on. Okay, so afternoon chore time. Big, big pillar of your day. It doesn't have to be in the afternoon. I just chose afternoon. We just always did it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And moms who just have little babies at home, you can start doing this right now. Just start building these pillars into your day, because it sets you up for success when your kids get older or when you add more kids. If the house is already in a routine of certain times we do certain things, then it just makes it easier when those new babies come along. So afternoon chore time, it's a consistent daily chore time. It helps to reset the whole tone of the house by changing the music or putting on music and making an announcement. It is now time for afternoon chore time, guys. Let's everybody gather, collect them from all corners of everywhere, and start in on the tasks. So let's see if I have. Okay, so daily room chores for each room. I assign teams, and it depends on the room. Some rooms are just a one person room. Some rooms don't need clean at all on the daily, but there's definitely some rooms in the house that do need that daily pick up, tidy, clean. If something is always clean, you don't need to, it's not such a big deal to clean it deeply, you know, because it's always clean. It's not a big job. So assign kids to each room, pair them appropriately. You don't want 2 kids who are just always at each other. You want the teams that work together. Sometimes it's a big kid and a little kid. Little kid's learning to clean, the big kid's teaching. Make the chore list for each room, laminate it, keep it in that room. Include a picture of what the room is supposed to look like when it's clean, because they all can't read, but they can look at a picture. And then when they're done with the room, then you can say, does the room look like this picture? And they can see. No, I forgot to do this. Okay, so then they run and do that. Okay, let's look again. Inspect what you expect. Okay, so don't just give us a chore and not teach them how to do it and follow up on that they're doing it correctly and give lots of encouragement and thank yous, and then inspect it once in a while. Sometimes, you know, they're going to need a lot of inspecting when they're first learning to do a new thing or to do a new room, and then once they're good at it, then they need less inspection time. Keep the room assignments for long periods. And chores too, because they get really good at it. It just makes things more efficient and productive, rather than this day you get this chore and that day you get that chore. They will work harder and faster if it's just, they know what they're supposed to do, they do it, and they get it done quickly, and then they're on to the next thing. If it's important that they learn how to do everything, so do teach them and change up the chores, but do it like every 3 months or every 6 months or every season, you know, change it. And then expect for a couple weeks if there's going to be a transition time, a learning curve for the new tasks to happen as they were done proficiently. And then you're also, in all that process, you're going to discover your kids' strengths and weaknesses, Who is the big picture person? Who is really good at the details? Who is very organized? Who wants to just shove everything under the couch and run off? So you're gonna find that out by doing these. And you're setting them up for success when they're adults. So my girl that just came home from college last night, she said at spring break, she lives in an apartment with 1, 2, 3. It was 4 other girls. I don't know if she ended up with the 4 other girls, so there's 5 total in the apartment. And she made it sound like 4 out of those, no, she's 5, so 3 out of 4 of those girls knew nothing about cooking, cleaning, nothing. One of them kind of knew, and she liked to keep things organized. It sounded like not a very pleasant experience where she felt like she's doing all the things, and they just really didn't know how to do stuff. Another story one of my older girls told about when when she was in college, they wanted to eat Alfredo, chicken Alfredo. And so she gets cream cheese and cream and Parmesan, and she's making Alfredo, and they're like, no, it comes out of a jar. Like she didn't know that it came out of a jar. They didn't know that it was really easy to make from scratch. So I mean, there's things out there that your kids will learn just by living at home and doing life with you, working in the kitchen with you, learning to clean the house, learning how to manage their time, learning how to use the clock, to work faster and more efficiently. By just watching you do all these things, they're learning. So it's setting them up for success. Okay, so this is huge. You're personalized. Don't buy someone else's home management book. Make your own. It's like having another brain. It tells you what to do when you're tired, when you're overwhelmed, when you don't know what to do next, when you have been up all night with sick kids and you're just kind of feeling like you're drowning and you don't know what to do because everything's a mess and now even more is a mess. It tells you what to do next and when to do it in the order. Now, the when is flexible. Let's say everybody was up all night, everybody slept in, it's now 10 o'clock. Just start your morning right then, just start right there with the morning routine. Okay, we do this, and then we do this, and then we do this. It helps to relieve stress and just be really calming if you can just go to your home management book, open it up, and it says Monday. And there's an order of events, and you can just go through that order of events, tells you what to do. And then you get this nap time break in there. Because there's a quiet hour. So sometimes you kind of hang on to that. Okay, it was a horrible night. There's these things that we need to do. And then there's a quiet hour. Quiet hour is coming. Or if it's after quiet hour, and you're just holding out. Okay, so I know that once the kids have their bedtime routine and we've done the house routine, the kitchen routine is done, then I get my personalized routine and I'm going to go to my bathtub with the Epsom salts and the lavender oil and I'm going to just rest in there. That's coming. I know it's coming. It's out there. It helps to have it all written down so you can know what to do when you don't know what to do. Okay, so paper, pencil, page protectors, sticky notes, quiet place, write your personalized routines. Why? Oh, page protectors, it is on there. Okay. So organize your week and you can see it, okay. Okay, so those are the days that I chose. Your lifestyle might be different. This is why I say make your own, personalize it, because then you can create it, you can put it in what order. I've switched the days before. What this does is it relieves stress, again, because you know that, oh, I should take care of these things on, why do I have 2 office days? Something's wrong. Town day is not on there. There should be a town day. Something's wrong. Okay, so let's say kitchen day. You have kombucha brewing. Anybody brew kombucha? And you're thinking, oh, the kombucha, when was the last time I brewed it? This is terrible. It's like, or am I supposed to? You put it on kitchen day, so it's not like you're thinking, oh, no, on kitchen day you do these tasks. You can put it off. Laundry day, same thing. The laundry can become mountainous. I told you we lived on a farm for 9 kids, cattle, manure, mud. I had boys that wrestled. So we had a lot of nasty laundry all the time. And babies. Babies spit up, and it just seems like there's always baby clothes. Cloth diapers. Did that with some of the kids. So I had a personal goal of 4 loads every day. There were some years that it was 4 loads by 10 o'clock in the morning. That was my goal. 4 loads by 10 every day. And a laundry day to catch up, because you need the laundry day to get all the towels clean, all the bedding clean, all the things that kind of hide in places, random places, and someone's laundry didn't get done. So that was my laundry day, and that's going to look different. If you live in suburbia, that sounds ridiculous. I mean, I've talked to those people. You don't know how good you've got it. Your idea of Laundry Mountain is not my idea of Laundry Mountain. Everything's perspective, So the point is, when you have a dedicated day to certain tasks, it relieves stress because it's coming around. I didn't get it all done. It's coming around next week. Next week I'll get the kitchen stuff cut up, or the office things, all that paper pile. I'll get it taken care of, the laundry. It just keeps coming around every week. Now let's say you're really good at laundry day and you count on laundry day being every single Monday. Well, some Monday, something blows up. Or there's an event that you really want to go to, that you take the kids to, so then you're like, okay, so now what? We didn't have a laundry day. You just switch it out with something else. Let's say town day. Because when you took the kids out to this great activity, you also stopped at the grocery store and you got some of your tasks done. So on town day, which on this plan is either Tuesday or Thursday, that's when you do your laundry day. So you can switch it up if you want. The whole point is just getting a regular routine of planning your days. It just saves time and makes you more productive, keeps things more efficient, keeps things rolling. Okay, so I talked about laundry day. Oh, assign helpers. So how did I do 4 loads by 10 every day? We were homeschooling the kitchen table, and laundry equipment's in the other room. Actually, laundry has been in 3 different places in my house. It was also in the basement for a while. What I did was, when I got up, part of my kitchen house routine was starting it. So there's one load started. After breakfast, we'd change loads again. After breakfast and joy, so that's 2. And then we would, we always did Bible first and then math. And usually by that time was over 3rd load. And then whatever was next in our homeschool plan. So then 4 loads by 10 o'clock. And then we would have a folding party later in the afternoon. During the afternoon chore time, we would fold laundry and listen to audios and that kind of thing, or watch a TV show. I have a memory of the kids, anyway. They get used to these habits too. So then that was their time to listen to the story or watch the Waltons. There was a time, Little House on the Prairie. They watched Little House on the Prairie every day at a certain time. It wasn't even 4 o'clock, but it would come on the TV at a certain time. This was when we lived in Idaho. And they would, certain time of the day that it would come on, and they would get all the laundry, and then they would fold while they would watch, their show. So they get used to this too, and they appreciate having their laundry clean and folded and put in the right place. I'm telling you, we could talk all day about laundry, I know. Kitchen day, use that for making freezer meals, meal prep, use that for your baking day, your yogurt, your kombucha, all those things that, any sourdough, those kind of things that you like to mess around with. And then the cleaning task. This is how you keep your kitchen clean. Is one cupboard a day, or one cupboard a week, and one drawer a week. The refrigerator, the microwave, the stove top, the floor, mopping the floor. If that's assigned a day of the week, it gets done, and it's clean all the time. It feels clean all the time. If you let it pile up, then it's harder to clean dirty stuff than it is clean. You know, when it's like baked on and has been there for 2 or 3 weeks, and the microwave, there's stickers on the floor. The longer that sticker is on the floor, the harder it is to peel up. Gonna give me PTSD doing this presentation. Just kidding. They were all good days. They were all good days. There were a lot of good days. They weren't all good. Office day, that's a little bit nicer nowadays that everything is so automated and paperless. But use that as a dedicated day to just check up on everything. Check up on your checking accounts, your savings, the auto pay. Make sure it's all doing the right thing, and the things you've canceled have actually canceled, and that you're not still paying $60 a month for something for 18 months. That happened to me one time when we moved from Missouri back here. That was not cool. Wasn't even my fault, but I never checked up on it, you know? Town day, I'm sure you guys know that living out here. That saves time, makes you more efficient with time, fuel, and money. And choose that to be the same day as your music lessons or going to the dentist or those kind of things. Try to make your appointments on your town day so that you're not running all the time. The more you are out of your home, the messier your home is going to be, because you're not, especially for homeschool people. We live in our homes, we work in our homes, we school in our homes. They are workplaces, and of course they're going to get messy and dirty. If you're running all the time, that mess never gets managed well. It doesn't get cleaned up, it doesn't get put away, it just gets messier. So try to organize your life so that all of those running around things happen on one day, so that you can be more efficient with your time and more productive at home. Okay, so cleaning day. If you're having an afternoon chore time every day, the cleaning day is what you do on top of that. That's the vacuuming, the dusting, the decluttering, the windows, and the deep cleaning. Deep cleaning is probably next. Oh, where is it at? Anyway, so deep cleaning is then choosing one area of the house where you dig deeper, where you pull the furniture back, you lift up the couch cushions, you clean the curtains, wash the windows, dust the baseboards, the deep stuff that can get put off forever and ever and ever and ever. So if you divide your house up into zones or focus areas and assign it a week of the month, that's when those areas get cleaned. And then, like I said earlier, if it's always clean, it's easier to clean, and it doesn't feel like it's dirty when you were cleaning it, which is a good thing. I mean, I know it's really satisfying. It's kind of like painting a room. When it's white and you paint it all blue, it just feels so dramatically different. When something's really dirty and you clean it, it feels dramatically different. It feels very good. But at the same time, who wants to live with it when it's really, really dirty? You want to keep it consistently clean so that it just feels nice all the time and livable. It relieves stress, because when you're looking at dirt, it's stressful. And scary if you have babies crawling around in the dirt. Okay, so gardening day. I call it gardening day, call it whatever you want. This is a day where you take care of the stuff around your house. So it might be the flower beds, sweeping the patio, the deck, the porch, the garage, the breezeway, whatever is unique to your house, that's the day you take care of it. Your vehicles, cleaning them. You know what? I was a little bit embarrassed when I noticed this morning when I got out, before I got here, I got in my vehicle to drive here, and I thought, oh man, because we live on gravel. I just washed it like 2 days ago, and it must have sprinkled some rain or something, and then dust, and so I was like, oh man, this is not cool. And then I drove gravel on to get to this church. I'm like, okay, all right. These people will understand. Okay, so the Lord's Day, plan ahead for it. On your laundry day, back there on Monday, laundry day, that's when you get all your church clothes together. I don't know how casual or formal your churches are, but if they play outside, my kids would do this. There was a time we were at a church where they would play baseball after church every single week and grass stain their pants. So at that church it was a little more formal, and the boys would wear khaki pants, and then they'd go play baseball, and then they'd get grass stains on their pants. You know what I'm saying? We'd have a potluck, and they'd get food on their pretty dresses. Monday was laundry day. I would make sure that those church clothes were clean, hung up, and even the little kids' clothes, because you know how little girls are, they want to go change their clothes all the time, and they want to put on their church clothes on a day when they're not supposed to wear their church clothes. I would put their church clothes in my closet in a section that was just for church clothes, including their tights or socks or whatever, because that was also classic. And the shoes were always a problem too, the church shoes. Keeping them in a special place, and then just being really strict with them. You do not wear your church shoes, you know, when you're going to go play with the dog, you know, that kind of thing. So being prepared ahead of time, planning the church clothes, getting them ready on laundry day, and Saturday, planning and preparing the food for breakfast, and Sunday. In your home management book, make a 2-page spread. So this is a 2-page spread for Saturday. Gardening day, all of these outside things. You're not doing homeschooling on gardening day. Do that in the morning, and then do these prep things on where it says Saturday. Plan and prep the food for breakfast, Sunday dinner. Lay out the clothes and shoes, okay? Make a 2-page spread for that day, and then make a 2-page spread for your Sunday. Is that on here? Nope. Make a 2-page spread for your Sunday that has the Sunday order of events, those routines, because Sundays can be really hard and horrible, I think, for moms of children, because it's so, the routine is disrupted. It's not your Monday through Friday, Saturday routine. Saturdays can be a little bit, you know, discombobulated too, but usually you have a routine. We do this, then we do that, then we do this. Sundays, for whatever reason, maybe it's the Satan, can be really disruptive. We think we can sleep in for whatever reason. Why? No, we cannot sleep in on Sundays. So it's really helpful to have a breakfast. The same breakfast every single Sunday is helpful. The same Sunday dinner every single Sunday. So make yourself a 2-page spread. It doesn't have to be the same give yourself some creative moments, okay? But generally speaking, save yourself some brain power by having the same breakfast every Sunday morning, and then the kids do, you know, you and the kids have a certain routine that you do, and then you go to church, and you come home from church, and there's a certain meal, and these are things we do for the meal, and then the afternoon, whatever, evening, just try to keep a routine there and make it as easy as possible and prepare ahead for it so that Sunday is actually a restful, enjoyable day, not super stressful because, I don't know what, the Satan. All right, where are we at with time? Because, all right, did you want to have time for a discussion?
I was wondering more rather questions.
Okay, so how about we stop and have questions then? Because next is, this is like, when do you plan a project day? Like, I want to paint my bedroom blue instead of the ugly beige it's been for years. So back on that, that plan of the day, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Plan these project days or weeks, because sometimes it's a week-long project if you're going to do like a remodel, or you're going to switch all the kids' rooms around, you know, that, because that happens as you add kids. There's times where you just need to send some, set aside some time for a project. So modify those days. I wouldn't do it on a laundry day. Don't mess with laundry day. Shorten those days, shorten your homeschooling, set aside time, and then the big thing is to plan ahead. Get your supplies, know what you're going to do with the kids, know what activities you want the kids to do, and then also do your best guess at how much time is this going to take, this project. And even keep track of the time so that next time you want to paint a bedroom, you know, okay, it's going to take, start to finish, it's going to take 6 hours, and next time I'm going to break it up like this and that, and it's going to be these 2 days rather than what I did the last time. You know, so learn, keep, you know, just, that's what the sticky notes are when you're putting your home management book together and you have it in the page protectors. Sticky notes are really helpful to write those things down, the times, or a note to yourself to adjust. This, having this routine is not working at this time. We need to switch it, you know, just switch these 2 blocks. So it's a place to keep notes. Put a project day plan in your home management book, 2-page spread for project day, where you can keep notes of how long projects take, what works for food. You know, is it a simple slow cooker meal? You start at like 8 in the morning, and then you don't have to think about food the rest of the day. And your kids, which kids are good, at different things, which kids do you need to get childcare for, or whatever your plan is. Anyway, that's project day. So, yeah, so there's like a review. Mindset is huge, 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 because like I said, you can have all these plans and just be, you can do all that routine stuff and planning and organization and focusing and be a mean mom. You can. Just get caught up in the work so badly that you're not paying attention to the people around you. You're not paying attention to their needs. You're not communicating with them, giving them love and attention. You're just lost in all the work. So it's really important to work on your mindset and think about the relationships that you have with your kids and your people, and communicate well and be a healthy person yourself inside of yourself. Yeah. So let's open it up to questions. There, that was my mantra as a kid, as a mother, to my kids. Whenever they would, any kind of squabble or any kind of thing any kind of whining, I don't want it. No. We are a family, we love each other, we take care of each other, we help each other. Oh, you know what, I said that to my Sunday school class. I teach Sunday school 5th and 6th graders, and they're just really sweet kids. There's about 8 of them. But and these kids have grown up to get knowing each other really well. Some of them are cousins. Anyway, they were squabbling about something dumb in Sunday school. And I said that just like came out of my mouth like automatic response. Okay, so that's what the book looks like now. And it's on Kindle or paperback, and there's a workbook too. So the workbook, those questions I handed out, those kind of came from the workbook. Alrighty, so any questions? I will just be your teacher. I'll help you. You have to fix your own life. You have to create your own plan that works for you. You have to do some self-reflection on how do I work best. Some of us are fast and speedy and moving all the time, and some of us are just more low-key and are not interested in being all entrepreneurial and don't want to go back to college and don't want to do all the things. And some, and some people, like, it's just like, some people like to crochet, some people like to knit. Some people think that sounds like torture. You know, we're all different. We have to work with ourselves and just know ourselves, and then know how we work best and what we need to put in place for our lifestyle and the lifestyle that we choose. Because we choose that. It's not typically thrust upon us. Yeah, and then make our daily plans and our weeks match up with our priorities and goals and our personal, who we are as a person. Yeah.
What do you recommend when, like, you know, you're planning out your days, but feel like you're coming from a hole already? You know, like you're already dug in a hole.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you continue, like, how do you get to, like, just almost, like, balance?
Yeah. Yeah. It happens after a baby. I kind of feel like in that first year after baby.
I feel like I'm digging out of a hole right at the moment.
Mm-hmm. 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 15-minute time blocks, because you're probably also tired. You're up with baby. You're sitting there nursing half the time, feels like. So 15-minute blocks or 20-minute, you know, you choose 30-minute blocks where you are resting for 30 minutes, feeding the baby, reading to your kids 30 minutes, and then everybody gets up, and then there's a 30-minute time block where you're working, where we're going to go clean the kitchen, or we're going to go just wash dishes. We're just going to go wash the dishes, load the dishwasher and wash the dishes in this 30 minutes. Use a timer. And then when it goes off, stop, go back to the couch and spend 30 minutes there. Maybe it's not the couch, maybe it's the school, maybe it's something else, but give yourself a rest time where you're just sitting and resting. And make sure you're eating and drinking during that rest time. And then get up and another 30-minute block of, okay, now we're going to fold all the laundry. Or now we're just going to gather all the laundry. Everybody gather all the dirty laundry and we're going to sort it. And then the timer goes off and you stop. And then you go sit down and rest again. Because you need to rest, and you need to eat and drink. And I'm not telling you to eat and drink. This is like a stopgap. This is a Band-Aid. It's not, because you want to get to a place where you are functioning on a healthy level, and everybody is doing their thing, and the house is generally mostly clean. It's 10 minutes away from being all picked up. That's maybe the goal, but when you're in a hole, you just need to get out of that hole. So 30 minutes of rest, 30 minutes of a task, and involve your kids. And then in that rest time, make sure you give them lots of love during that rest time, because a lot of times that's why you're in a hole, is because everybody's whiny and they're fighting, and they just need some love. They just want to be with mom. They feel a little displaced, especially those little ones. There's this transition period after baby where they're just like, what? I guess I don't have a mommy anymore. You have to kind of think like you're a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old, you know, where they're just adjusting to it all, and they need time and snuggles and love. And also, when you're sitting there, you're feeling a little trapped because you're feeding a baby and there's kids crawling on you, and all what you see is work, but you can't do it because you feel like, I'm just stuck here with these kids around here. How am I supposed to do the work? You just have to use a timer. And you choose a time, whether it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you know. Because don't make it too long, because then you're going to get exhausted. And for sure, use that quiet hour every day, quiet time. You know, where everybody goes to their own space, it's quiet. The house is quiet. No music, no TV shows, no games that are loud. The house is quiet. I don't care if you read. I don't care if you do crochet or macrame or art, as long as you are quiet. I'm talking about the older kids, because they're the ones that tend to be loud. If they're really old, let's say they're 14, they're gonna go to the barn and they're gonna go build something out there. Okay, that's fine. You just stay out there because we're having quiet time in here. If you come in the house, it has to be quiet. And don't come around the outside of the house and be loud and play baseball right outside the window. No. You know? There's some boundaries. Any other questions? Anything's, fair game.
So you mentioned like different kids' personalities. Like some are just like go get it done, and like else like okay, just kind of want it out. Like how do you deal with that?
You just have to constantly bring them in.
I just have like 5 kids right here, so like yeah, when there's one that's not listening, like 20 minutes later, everybody's listening.
Yeah. Sometimes those kids, I think, they really need the eye contact and repeat it back to me what I said. So if you're saying, go feed the dog, make sure, don't just say, Brock, go feed the dog. No, he wouldn't hear it. He would be, because he's in his own world. He's like thinking about other things. Brooke was like that too. They're just not hearing it. Those kids, I really had to eye contact with me, get down on their level, get down on their level. So they're looking in your eyes and you say, it's time to go feed the dog, go feed the dog. And then have them say, okay, Mom, I will go feed the dog. Just to help them stay on task. And if they can say it back, then they're more apt to do it. Just a little helpful. Sometimes it's an age too, where they're just really distracted. 17-year-old girls are really like that too.
Sometimes for me, I will have them leave or something so that they can run off.
I would do that too. There was times when, and back to the whole after baby where they're feeling displaced and things, there was some that I literally took a piece of fabric and tied it to my wrist and tied it to them so they weren't off being naughty, asking for attention. They were with me all the time. Really what they just wanted was love and attention. And if I held them close to me like that, then they would turn around. They just needed some more. Yeah, keep them close. Include them in the work. What was your question,
My
Olivia?
question is very similar, actually. It was like, do you have any tips for how to keep them all on task and not like, you go find one and then by the time you get back, then the other one's gone and I feel like that's how our afternoons are. Our afternoons just kind of fall apart.
Yeah. Again, the timer is super helpful. So some kids, I would give them a timer. Kitchen timers are pretty cheap, $5 to $10. You can get a handful of kitchen timers. Or the other helpful ones, you can get a 3-pack of the kind that wind up, and tick, 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 those kind. Take those with them. And you know how long a task is going to take. So you can set the timer. You might also, just make sure it's not the kind of kid that's also going to mess with the timer. And then also give them a lot of praise and thanks for when they're done with the task. So if you send them off to straighten that room over there, whatever room. The living room, front living room, go straight in the front living room. Which actually should be part of afternoon chore time. Let's say it's afternoon chore time. Their task is the front living room. It's a 10-minute job at most. If they're goofing around, it's a 10-minute job. Because it doesn't get messy. Nobody really uses that room. Maybe someone was in there reading a book. So they go to that room. You set the timer. You say, I expect to see you back in 10 minutes. Your job is to clean that room. And then they come back and they tell you. So it's kind of like you have to, don't just go clean that room, and then come tell me when you're done. and you have 10 minutes. I'm keeping track on this timer, and you can manage a timer. And if, let's say that 10 minutes has gone by, and they're in there reading a book. Okay. Did you get the work done? Yes. Well, you're reading a book. You were supposed to come tell me. So, you have to follow up on them. And inspect what you expect. It's constant. It's not easy. It just is ongoing all the time. This course that I was telling you about that we do here, I think I have a picture of it. Okay, so yeah, here's the course. There's 13 modules. We cycle through it like. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Not a big deal. Anyway, the course we go through with the ladies who have bought the course. You don't have to. You do it yourself with the book. Anyway, we cycle through it, and I have moms who are like on their 4th cycle at least. There's moms that have been with me 3 years, and they'll drop off. They'll disappear for a while, and then they'll come back. They might have had a baby, and they'll say, I kind of need to do this course again. Great, you're starting it again. It's just constant. I need it all the time. I need to fix my mindset. Revisit my priorities. Try to figure out, well, why is this room a mess all of a sudden? It's always a mess. Messy on the outside, messy on the inside. It is causing me stress, Why did that happen? Well, just like when you add babies, when they leave the house, things happen too. It just disrupts. Or someone gets a job. And that person was a key person in your kitchen mealtime routine. Well, then we have to rewrite the mealtime routines because so-and-so's not here anymore. It's just constant. It doesn't go away. You just have to manage it constantly. Just tweak it, make it more efficient, more productive. Just revisit those parts of the day and try and make them work again.
When did you plan in time just to work on the schedule? Like
Oh, sorry.